Hard sports all plays. Yeah. Hard sports all plays. Hard sports all plays. 365, we making a plays. You talking the game, get you through the days. We're out in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety, topics, living the same. All presentation, sports information. In the airways, taking the nation. Hard sport all plays, like working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. Hard sports all plays. Yeah.
All right, well, it's happening, everybody. Welcome to G.S.R. Gonzo'S Sports Room Wednesday night, July 26, 2023. I'm Gonzo, joined by Big Glenn. How's it going, Glenn?
I'm doing great, man. Wish the Reds would have got that game today, but after the game that they had yesterday, really can't complain.
No, yeah, man, it sucks losing the Brewers again. Brewers have owned the Reds this season so far. Just flat out owned us. And we've lost 4 shutouts to the Brewers, and we've only lost 4 shutouts total to the rest of baseball. And then we're like 3-10 against the Brewers this season, and we're 28-7 against.
Yeah, it's amazing how bad we played against them in that way, and like it's almost like the Pacers and Heat from like 10 years ago. Like the Reds would win the games at home, but like they couldn't do shit on the road, you know?
Yeah. Oh no, dude! It was and John says my damn Braves went down again to Boston, so don't feel bad. Yeah, I watched some of that game this evening. That's a pretty good game. Boston, man, that lineup can be dreadful to try to get through. They can really get going. Duvall had a big home run in that game for Boston.
Hell yeah!
But the Reds, man, I mean, over the last 2 months, they're like 3-10 against the Brewers and 28-7 versus everybody else.
But you know
so
what?
It's like,
yeah,
same thing. We'll figure out the Brewers, and we beat the Brewers with their ace last night, which was a big win. But they made it interesting, man. I thought we was going to end up blowing that game last night.
Yeah, same here because I was watching it because I put money down last night because I had a free bet left over from Betway because Chase Elliott didn't win the race on Sunday, so I had a free bet from that. And I'm thinking going to the 9th inning, we're looking good. Then all of a sudden they hit
up 4-0. Up 4-0 going to the 9th.
Then it got interesting because you had the tying run get to second base,
we give up a 3-run homer, hit a guy in the head.
Yeah.
I mean, it was just like, oh my goodness. It was like everything that could go wrong was going wrong. And like they're going to mess around lose this game. A game where you shouldn't have had to pitch. You shouldn't have had to pitch Diaz, and you end up having to pitch him.
Yeah.
Which would have made it where he wasn't going to be available today, which ended up not mattering because, I mean, it was a close game. That was 0-0 till the 8th inning.
Yeah.
Of course, Brewers ended up getting 3 runs, winning 3-0, but Reds just couldn't get no offense going, man. No. Brewers pitching staff is tough. I mean, that's really their bread and butter because they're not the best hitting team by far. The Brewers are. I mean, hell, out.
Yeah, their defense and pitching helps keep.
I think they only hit like, if I remember right, like in the 230s or something as a team. They haven't been hitting the ball real. Yeah, they hit 231 as a team for the season.
Yeah.
So I mean, they don't hit. They're not a real good hitting team, but they're pitching, man.
Yeah. It's almost like the 2000 Ravens in that way. Their defense is what kept them in a lot of games. Same.
Well, they got and they have a 3.93 team ERA. So
Yeah.
I mean, you don't have to score a whole lot of runs if your pitching staff don't give up a whole lot. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yes.
ERA to be under 4 is pretty damn good.
You got that right, especially this time of the year, man. The question is, can Milwaukee keep it up down the stretch? It's almost the same exact thing that the Reds are having to answer at this time. Can they?
And that's the thing. In comparison to the Reds, like Brewers are hitting 231 as a team. Reds are hitting 253 as a team, which is down a little bit. They were hitting closer to 260 as a team.
Yeah.
But if you look at the pitching staffs, Brewers 3.93 team ERA, the Reds a 4.72 team ERA.
Yeah.
So that shows you where the big difference in them two teams has been. And it really hasn't been the Reds bullpen. It was the starters, but it hasn't been the starters here as of late. It was the starters
early in the season.
About 3-4 weeks ago when we started having guys go down with injury. We lose Hunter. You lost Lodolo before that. You already had Santilla now. You already had Antone now. So your pitching staff had already been destroyed with injuries. But now we're getting some guys healthy, and Lively's pitched. I know we got the loss today, but Lively pitched into the seventh, pitched real good. Andrew Abbott, the rookie, has just been been an ace. And Ashcraft has been pitching well. He's had 4 or 5 real good quality starts. Our starting pitching has been better here over the last couple of weeks. Our offense has been down a little bit. But, I mean, you had to expect that with a young roster like we have, that they were going to have some kind of a slump. But I mean, hell, you come out, you lose your first 5 games out of the All-Star break, you win 5 in a row, lose 1, you win 1, you lose 1. I mean, you'd like to win the series against the Brewers, but it's not. You're only a game and a half back out of the division. You don't play the Brewers no more during the regular season, so you don't have to even worry about them until maybe postseason.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to tie with the Brewers because they own the tiebreaker over you.
Yeah, definitely don't do that.
You just got to keep trying to win series and stack some W's.
Yeah, if we can stay within, I would say the safe number would probably be stay within 3 of the Brewers, and when we get Hunter Green back, because if we stay within 3 games behind with Brewers when we get him back, I think we could go on a little bit of a run late in the season and could put us over the top in that way.
Yeah, I agree, and it sounds like we'll get Green back probably here in maybe a couple weeks. Maybe second, third week of August. So, and Lodolo should be, the way from what I'm hearing, I think that he'll be back probably pretty soon as well. And then, I mean, there's rumors. We got till Tuesday, but I mean, there's rumors that the Reds are going to be buyers at the trade deadline and try to maybe get some starting pitching. And one of the rumors is Jonathan India is going to be part of that.
Yeah, 5 days is a long time in the trade world in that way, So
I read a couple things today were saying that the Reds were interested in a couple pitchers from maybe the White Sox, Giolito and Cease.
Yeah,
and we had some other names on there as well. They didn't really have it. They mentioned Stroman and a couple other ones, but they didn't think that it would be one of them because they're on division teams.
Yeah,
they don't think the Reds is going to want to give up any of their young prospects to a team in the division.
No, I wouldn't hear the hell with Mike in that way,
Yeah, that's true.
Right now too. So
I don't know. It's going to be interesting. I know the Angels came out today, said they're not trading Ohtani. Now, how much is that? How much is that truth? How much is that just blowing smoke to see if that'll get maybe more phone calls because people are, when they think they can't have something, they even want it more. So
yeah,
it's going to be interesting. But
teams,
I've said for the last couple of weeks, I didn't think he'd be traded by the deadline. To me, it's a big risk for a team to do it because you could be doing it as a rental, and if you give up too many prospects for a rental, and you don't end up winning the World Series, where does that leave you if he doesn't sign if you're not able to re-sign him?
Yeah, exactly, because there's going to be other teams in the hunt that's going to have all that cap room.
I think he's going to end up with the Dodgers, but I think it'll be through free agency.
Yeah, over the winter, and everything when all the trades and stuff start kicking in, free agency in that way. So,
yeah, I think he'll end up going to the Dodgers, but I think it'll be through free agency. Now there are reports that not the Rangers, damn it, the Angels they're going to be buyers at the trade deadline, try to add to try to bolster their team up some to try to make the playoffs. So, and I think them winning these last few games here lately kind of changed their mind some too, because now they're only like 4 games out of the wild card, so they're still in contention where they could go on a run and make the playoffs.
Yeah.
And so now the thought is instead of trading Otani that they're going to be buyers and try to add to the team. So it'd be interesting to see if they can pull anything off here.
They can really go both ways depending on what they want to do, man. So that could be a dangerous team if you think about it, if Trout comes back and everything,
Which I know Trout's going to be out a while.
Yeah.
I can't remember exactly how long, but
Like
that dude he can't stay healthy. That dude has no luck health wise at all. It's just
he's pretty much cast the check.
And dude's so talented. He's a hell of a baseball player, but just has no luck on being able to stay healthy. And that's what's crazy. You have him and what the Angels have him and Otani at the same time, and not being able to make the playoffs. And just to think how Trout's been one of the best players in baseball over the last 7-8 years, maybe at least. And he's been considered the best player, but he's never played in a playoff game. You know what I mean? It's crazy a talent like that. And now you have Otani the same way, a talent like Otani that we've never got to see in the bright lights of playoff baseball.
Yeah,
see how years now.
Yeah, wasted away years, man. It sucks to see that.
Yeah, you don't get to see how they respond to it.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see what happens at the trade deadline. We'll see if any big moves are made there. What'd you think about switching gears a little bit? What'd you think about the Indiana Fever yesterday?
Man, that was disappointing as hell. They had the lead late against Los Angeles and everything, and they it was like under a minute to go, and both of the guards were throwing up 3-point shots. When you have the lead with a minute to go, and then you try to put away not the Lakers, but the Sparks at home, at their place, it didn't make no sense whatsoever, and I was actually quite disappointed to the point where I'm slowly beginning to check out on the season. So,
well, I watched a little bit of. I was doing something, and I got on Facebook for a minute, and the game popped up.
Yeah,
and I saw they were ahead, and I was like, okay. Well, then I came back and checked it, and I was like, well, what the hell just happened? What the hell happened?
Exactly. Because they let, I forget who the hell they left one of the Sparks players open for a three. I'm like, oh, that's probably the game there, unfortunately. And they just was not playing smart down the stretch like they need to, and it was kind of unfortunate because they played well to win that game.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I thought they were going to win the game, and like I said, I turned it back over, or got back on there to see what happened. And I was like, well, that didn't end well. What the hell?
Hopefully, when I go to Atlanta next week to watch them play down there, they actually win that thing instead of getting beat by 20 when I went out to Vegas last year to watch them play. So,
you say you're going to Atlanta?
Yeah, I had that trip taken care of right when I got back from St. Louis in June. So,
yeah, hopefully they get to play a little bit better. Basketball here over the next few weeks.
Yeah, we're still close enough to get a playoff spot, but I'm not holding my breath on this point. I mean, I've pretty much decided I'm going to the NASCAR weekend here when the same weekend that we play the race, or they play at home against Liberty on the same day as the Cup race. I said, I'm just going to go to the race at this point, even though there's still a month left in the season when we get to that date. So it's one of those things. I was still investing in the team, but probably just to be there,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when did you go there? You said a couple weeks?
Oh, the Atlanta trip or the race? The Atlanta trip is I leave out next Saturday, and the race is on August 13th. The Cup race is on August 13th. Yeah. But me and Dave is going to be at the truck race and over near Claremont, Indiana, IRP on Friday or the Friday before. So it's going to be a hell of a weekend either way. So
I've never been to one. I need to go to one of them races.
The truck races is the one because me and Dave will be there. We will spend pretty much the whole day out there, man. It's gonna be a fun time. You definitely should go once you get the chance.
When is that?
That is August 11th, Friday. The
All right. I'd see what I have going on.
Yeah. Cool. Tickets are only $35, so $35 plus a couple dollars in fees, so it's not too much. Parking's free too.
All right.
Yeah.
I've never been to like big race. I've been to some smaller stuff, but I've never been to like NASCAR or none of the bigger stuff. So it'd be cool to go to something.
The truck race had been a staple at IRP over in Claremont, Brownsburg area, up like Northwest Indy area, up until about 2011. Then they lost that date to like Eldora. Then like another track, I think it was maybe Worldwide Technology Raceway in St. Louis had that date for a few years when the Brickyard was here. But during COVID and everything, one of the IndyCar / NASCAR super fans, his name is Tony Donahue, who you might have heard of here locally in Indy before, that has connections to the business in that way with IMS and everything. I not like personally, but like me and Tony was like, hey, we should try to put out on social media to get the truck race back at IRP. Then last year they finally did it and everything, and it's going to be essentially the first race in the truck playoffs for the next few years at the very least. But they sold out the joint last year, so I think it's going to be here to stay, thankfully.
Well, good. Yeah, that'd be good if it is.
Oh, yeah. Because those deals usually run, like, I want to say 4 or 5 years for each one. Like, the Brickyard next year is going back to the Oval, so they haven't announced it yet, but they're holding the entire test for that next year's, or not next year, but like in a couple weeks or something like that. So
I'd heard something that it was going to go to Oval.
Yeah,
go back to the Oval.
Yeah, it's going to go back to Oval next year, and I think the other part of that is the Indy Road Course race that was taking place like on the same weekend as that race was. Excuse me, for the road course. That date will go to Milwaukee Mile, so IndyCar is actually going to go to the Milwaukee Mile next year. That weekend that the Brickyard returns to the Oval here for NASCAR. Semi-breaking news, but if you pay attention enough to NASCAR fan pages, you kind of know the ins and outs in that way. So,
yeah, I'd heard rumors it was going to Oval. Do you think it's going back to Oval just because that's what the fans like better, or I mean, why do you think that they're changing it back?
So here's the thing: when they originally, so the year that COVID, 2020. It was originally going to be the Xfinity Series and the IndyCar on Saturday for the road course. Then they would overnight change the track over to the Oval for the Cup Series. Well, the Xfinity Series race that took place was very fun to watch on TV. So the people at NASCAR, was like thinking maybe they should try out the road course for NASCAR the whole weekend and not have to worry about track turnover, things like that. That is the reason why I think they tried it, because the attendance at Indy for the Brickyard has really declined since that tire issue back in 2008, where they pretty much was running like 10 to 12 laps, then having to throw a competition costume because everybody was blowing up the tires and using up the tires because the compound was crap. So, and with the way it kind of leveled off 2021, 2022 with the Cup Series and everything, it wasn't really making much of a difference. And everybody was advocating for it to go back to the Oval as soon as they could. And next year was actually the first year that they could do that, because the deal went for like 3 years. And this is the last year for that deal. So next year we'll be back to the Oval, thankfully.
We also just had Colts training camp start. Have you heard any big news coming out of training camp yet?
Yes, the Colts fans were out.
What's Richardson looking like? Is he the next Hall of Fame guy?
Yes, he's from what I heard, he looked like Peyton Manning this morning. But no, seriously, there was lots of interest in the first day of camp this morning. I was actually listening to the local radio station for sports, the fan, Kevin and Query and stuff, and they was out there at Colts camp, because they run their show from 7 to 10, and I think the gates opened up for Colts camp at 9, and they said that line to get in was wild, like long, like bigger than what it's been the past couple seasons. So people are wanting to see how this Colts team is going to look this year. And before today, 2 days of Colts camp were already sold out. You couldn't find a ticket for those 2 days, and I believe it was almost a sellout for Colts camp today as well, or close to it, because the amount of people flocking up to Grand Park, and so.
Well, what's your honest expectations of Anthony Richardson for his rookie season? Or not even just him, this Colts team. Do you think this Colts team can? You think they could be a playoff team this season?
No, but I got some good news. We're going to win more games than what we did last season. That's for sure. I think this is about a 6-win team. I think this is a 6-win team, to be fair. And I think I'm missing this to you on Easy Money a week or two ago. If the bet is still available, if you go to FanDuel and you pull up the Colts on the NFL section, you can still get a plus 20,000 odds to put money down for Colts to throw a touchdown, at least one touchdown for every game of the season.
That's what you were saying.
Yeah, that bet is still available. So if you got a chance, or anybody that's watching has a chance, put money down on that, because to put $5 down, if that hits, you get $1,005. So yeah, but yes, I don't think the Colts are a playoff team this year, but they're going to progress enough to where they win more games than what they did last year, because we don't have a statue out there in the backfield in the name
What's
of.
Going on, Mike Hughes?
How's it going, Mike?
He said Cubs came back being down 7-2 against Sox. It's 10-7. Yeah, Mike, I'm actually watching that game right now. I'm glad the Cubs came back. I took the Cubs to win today on the sports betting show. My picks were, if you haven't been checking out, quick plug real quick, if you haven't been checking out Easy Money, a sports betting show, my picks yesterday were 6-0. Today's show, I got like half my picks out, and then we had a power outage and the show just got shut down. A transformer down the street from where we live caught fire, so we didn't have power for a few hours. But yeah, we're doing the show, and all of a sudden, just boom, everything shut down. But we'll be back with Easy Money again tomorrow, right around 3:00. But yeah, my picks are 404 and 322 on the year so far. But I was 6-0 yesterday. Yeah. Having a pretty good night so far tonight. But we'll see if the Cubs can hold on here, and then get ready for tomorrow's slate of games.
Yeah, they got the crosstown rivalry going on right now.
Yep.
Yeah, I saw where Aaron Rodgers took lots of money to today. I think that man wants to win another championship. But we're talking about the Jets here, though. I mean, they haven't won.
We're talking about the Jets here.
I mean, they haven't won since my mom was like 3. So.
But I do like that, because all everybody talked about was, well, he's not going to be untradeable because nobody's going to want the contract, and he's too big of a dickhead. He's not going to work restructure his contract with the team, and he won't do this because for some reason most of the media want to make it out that Rodgers just is like the biggest dickhead there is that's ever lived.
Yeah.
And for some reason that they always want to have that. I mean, no matter what he says or does, and don't get me wrong, he brings some of it on himself with some of the stuff he's done. But there's also some times where the media just, for some reason, has been on him. So, but
yeah,
I like the fact that he restructured his deal, and I like that they turned it into the 2-year deal. So that shows he's probably going to be there another year.
Mm-hmm.
I think the Jets are going to have a good year this year. I hate to say that because the last time the Jets were good, they were beating the Colts in the playoffs with Rex Ryan as a coach. and knocking us out of the playoffs. But I think they're going to have a good season because I think that defense is going to be better than what it was last year, and that defense was pretty damn good.
They
And
almost
then
got
I mean, think about it. They won 7 games last year with Zach Wilson as their main quarterback, and you had a couple other guys, Mike White, and a couple of other guys step in a little bit. But now you have Aaron Rodgers as your quarterback, and I know he might not be the Aaron Rodgers, but I don't think he's that far from it. I mean, 2 years ago he won back-to-back MVPs.
Mm-hmm.
This year he didn't have last year he didn't have the greatest season. I think a finger injury or thumb injury hurt some of that. He had a real young receiving core. I think that hurt some of it. And I just think the relationship between him and Green Bay and the management there at not necessarily like Green Bay, but the management there in Green Bay, I think it got to the point where I think both of them were kind of checked out some.
Yeah.
I think going to New York with the Jets is going to be a good fresh start for him. I expect him to have a pretty good season this year, a big bounce back season from what he did last year.
Yep, 16-1, baby. They go 16-1, but guess what? That first loss is going to be the first round of the playoffs.
But back to the Colts for a minute. Because I want to talk because I just thought something. So you said they're not going to make the playoffs or win more games, but do you think they would? Do you think that they were going to make the right decision on starting Richardson game 1, or do you think they should wait and not start him? Which way do you lean on that?
So here's the thing. I'm doubling down on what I said right before the draft about us taking Richardson. Not only did we take Anthony, my next thing that I'm saying what I'm doubling down with is Richardson does start week 1. I think I mentioned this on Monday that they're going to wait till the end of camp or the end of preseason to make that announcement. They're going to play with the media like they like to do. It seems.
Yeah. I think he starts week 1. I mean, if you look at Colts history, Peyton Manning started week 1 when we drafted a number 1 quarterback. Andrew Luck started week 1.
Yep.
I mean, in Colts history, if we took a quarterback top 5 in the draft, they usually start week 1.
You have to start him. I mean,
and is it always pretty? No, but I mean, look, Peyton Manning went 3-13 as a rookie. Next season, we're 13-3 in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have one of the winningest 10, 15-year stretch in football.
Yeah, the upper quartile or the upper quartile, as like Jim would say.
with Andrew Luck, if his career went and got cut short, who knows what would have happened with him in Indy? I still think we could have had a Super Bowl or 2 with Luck.
I mean, we almost got to the one in 2015. Had Tom Brady not deflate his balls in that way, you know.
Oh, Deflategate.
Yep. I remember when Bob Kravis broke that story because I think that was one of his last years before he went national with the Athletics. So I think he was with WTHR at the time. So I remember when that story broke out, it was crazy, man. I still think we should have won that.
Yeah. No, dude, what do you think about Herbert? Justin Herbert signed a big deal, making him the highest paid quarterback in the NFL now.
That's a whole lot of money for somebody that hasn't won a playoff game yet.
That's funny that you say that because that's what I said to Mike Hughes on the afternoon show. I said, has he won a playoff game? And Mike goes, I don't think so. I said, no. I said, remember last year they got a real big lead against Jacksonville and then they lost that game. And then the year before, they had a chance to make the playoffs, but their coach decided to call a timeout against the Raiders. Instead of letting the game enter the tie, they both make the playoffs. So it was like, no, he hasn't won a playoff game yet. Now, don't get me wrong; he has shown all kinds of potential. I think he's going to be a real good. I do think he is going to be one of the top quarterbacks in the NFL for the next few years. And him not winning the playoff game, or it hasn't been all his fault either.
No,
I mean, they had a lot of injuries, especially their wide receivers. It seems like every year that their wide receivers are down with Allen and Williams. And then, I mean, you get a lead against the Jacksonville team and your defense just collapsed. I mean, so they got to fix some things there too because it hasn't all been on Herbert. But, yeah, man, that's a lot of money. And now I think, man, Joe Burrow is about ready to break the bank.
You get that right, and it's not some piggy bank in your closet. You know, it's going to be the real deal. It's going to be the big money. He gonna be smoking a few of those cigars when he signs that bad boy.
But Buck said, "Glenn, you're fired."
Yeah, fired. Yeah, sorry I didn't make the show on Saturday, man. I had to see the Indy 11 women's win the championship, so I'll be back to it again pretty soon. So
Yeah, man. Dave told me to tell you that too. I forgot to tell you that on Monday night. He told me to tell you were fired.
yeah, yeah, it's a running joke that we got. It's almost like a gimmick during the Pacers season that just has pretty much been like Stone Cold Watt, things like that. It has become a fun gimmick because I'm always doing something silly.
Buck said you've missed like 3 straight shows, laughing out loud.
Yeah, I have, and unfortunately, I got missed the next one too because
oh shit!
If you got, I do have a home game, but I'm gonna be at WPW year 2, so we good.
Damn, so you're gonna miss another one. What's that? Like four straight?
Yeah, 4 straight. That'll be the last one I missed, though. I'll tell you that because I'm going the rest of the year.
Fair Fight 2 was a good show. I had a good time.
I know. I've watched that back at least twice already. If I count it, yeah, twice. Sunday and Monday.
Yeah, I've watched. I've watched it close back twice, at least once and a half. I don't know if I haven't completely made it through all the second time yet, but I watched about half of it with Dad the other night. I was out there and he had it on the TV out there watching it back. He did he turned on Fair Fight so he could watch both them back to back and see which one he liked, what was his favorite.
That's a good way to benchmark in that way to see the improvement, because WPW has been doing a fantastic job, man.
Oh yeah, love going down there to them shows. We don't have another show for, so I don't have none this weekend. We got one next weekend.
Yeah, you guys got a rare weekend off, man. That's pretty rare because you guys are usually out across the state.
Well, we do have something going on, but it's not a show thing.
Yeah.
Going to the big get together with a bunch of friends. So it should be a good time.
Yeah, we
got invited to it last year, and it was awesome. So
I think we're gonna go back. Yeah, I think it's crazy that AEW and WWE has like 3 different shows, each one a month apart from the other. Did you notice that? You got AEW in September. You got the WWE pay-per-view Fastlane, and on October, legitly like 30 days after AEW. Then you got one dead-man show like 32 days later. On my birthday, it's like crazy. There's wrestling events like that in Indy are usually few and far between and not that close together. So it's one of those things. If you get a chance to go eat in the street, go check them out if you got the money, as well as support your local wrestling shows as well. That being WPW.
Buck, I'm pretty sure that we're going to be at that NGW on the 12th. I should know for sure probably here in the next day or two, but from the way it's looking, I'm pretty sure we will be at NGW on the 12th.
Yeah, I'm still trying to win me and David a Xfinity pass for that day, so but we'll figure it out if that comes to fruition.
Yeah, good. I know we got that the 12th. We got DCCW on August 2nd, next Wednesday, a week from today.
That Gaston, Indiana show?
Yep, they're at the Gaston Fair. Going to have the newest rockers, Al Snow and Cal Hero there. So it should be a good show. They're actually taking on the Beaver Boys.
Beaver Boys. Oh, that's going to be a good one.
For the DCCW tag team titles. So
you guys going to be live? Is that going to be a tape and replay later?
Not 100% sure yet. I got to see what the internet situation is out there. If we can get internet a good enough connection, we'll be live. But if not, we'll have to record it.
Hell yeah!
I'm hoping to find out more information on that this weekend as well.
Hell yeah! I still couldn't believe how crazy the amount that the convention center was charging back in May for that one. That was crazy. Yeah.
Buck said, Glenn, I need you to win me Brickyard tickets.
Hey, I'm trying, buddy. There's one I entered with William Byron, so, buddy, I got a ticket already because, you know, I just want to make sure that I'm covered in my way. I also, obviously, I bought me and David for the truck race on Friday, so, but there hasn't been any Brickyard tickets locally yet, but trust me, I'm actually, you know what, since you mentioned that, I think I will try to win some for you guys.
A lot of the radio station will probably start having some contests coming.
I would say probably next week and stuff, so I'll be on the hunt.
He said you always win everything, laughing out loud. I know, that's what I tell him all the time too.
Yeah,
always win.
Yeah. I'm a little disappointed I haven't won a pit pass for Indy weekend yet. I struck out on all those other ones that entered. I was like, man.
You just got back from a trip to Vegas that you won.
Yeah, that was insane. That was fun as hell though, because I got to see Sabrina Ionescu go off like she did.
That was crazy.
Yeah,
I was watching on TV, and I mean, I've watched a lot of 3-point contests. I've never seen nothing like that.
No, not where a delay hit, or just a player in general. You know, every shot but like 2 or 3. Then the only thing that stuck about that whole trip was really Prince and Billups sitting right in front of us. So of all the players that they brought, they had to put them 2 guys right there in front of us, and that got me fired from Bill. So, Sandman, yeah.
Cubs end up beating the White Sox 10-7.
Yeah, I was no surprise because when you come back from 7-2 down and start putting the burden on them in that way.
Let's talk a little soccer. What do you think about this Women's World Cup United States team? I know, I'll be honest, I don't follow soccer enough to be like and have a real solid opinion on it.
Yeah,
I heard a lot of people on the radio and just on social media and stuff was reading there after that first half that a lot of people were disappointed in the way United States had played.
Yeah,
they were down 1-0.5, and they come back. They end up tying it up in the second half, and game ends in the tie. But from what I was getting from a lot of stuff I was reading was more of it was a little bit of a disappointment for it to be a tie.
Yeah, I was disappointed because I had, before we got on here, I checked the score out to get ready for the show and stuff, and I seen that it was tied 1-1. But see, the thing is though, I want to say that the U.S. women's are on a decline, but they're on that period where the roster's turned over from the delays that have won it the previous 2 times. And those ladies are starting to retire and everything. You have young ladies come up through the system and stuff. So,
yeah,
if they don't win the World Cup this year, it's like one of those things. Don't be surprised or disappointed. But tonight's game was kind of like a little bit disappointing.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I didn't know enough about it, but when they were down 1-0 at halftime, you'd have thought that
they lost.
That the world was coming to a damn end. The way some of the people were talking, and I'm like, I think it's got a whole nother half. People are like, well, they're playing terrible, and I don't know enough about it. I know there was a goal that got taken away. I don't know. Did you see that? Was you watching it there in the second half?
Yeah, I missed that part. And
they called her offsides. Like I said, I don't know the rules well enough, but
that happened at the USL Women's Championship on Saturday. We attempted to take the lead early. It was actually early, not in the second half, and they shoot the goal, but they called it offside right there. So.
Oh, okay. My damn screen went black. But yeah, so I know a lot of people they were like, man, I was like, well, I understand that, but I mean, you saw a whole second half to play, then they tied it up, and I think people were starting to feel a little different about it. But I know from the way I was getting, I haven't listened to a whole lot of the post game stuff because the game ended right as we was getting ready to get on. But I think a lot of people thought United States would beat Netherlands. I think
I figured they would too.
I think there's a lot of people that look at that as a disappointment and not where they want to be starting off with their second game at the World Cup.
Yeah, it's one of those things to get out and win the group stage and go on and win it, you know?
And that's one of the things I was hearing as well was that people was interested to see how Rodman and some of the other young talent. Can't think of the other one's name now.
Yeah, I don't know too much names myself.
You got young players that are not saying they're not going to be that they're not great players because they're top talents, but they haven't played at this level yet.
No,
so
not yet.
It was going to be interesting these first couple of games to see how they responded to that. And when you get in a game like this, how are they going to respond? Because it takes time to grow into some of these moments, and you never know how somebody's going to react until you get into that moment.
Exactly.
And this is the first time for a lot of them. I know you got. Don't get me wrong. There's a lot of experience on the team too, because you still got some of the players that's been on the last two championship teams, but you also good part of this roster is also, like you said, a younger roster where it's getting ready to get flipped to being their team.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't. Are these women going to be able to perform on the biggest stage? And that's something that we don't know the answer to yet.
Yeah, hopefully they get figured out and make it past the group stage and fire up the engine that way, then go on and win the whole thing.
What about the men's World Cup? Is the United States going to have any shot at that?
Hell no, probably not. Unfortunately, the men's team
said hell no.
I love America. Don't get me wrong, but when it comes to the U.S. men's soccer, it's almost like the I want to say Indy 11 men's, but they haven't been too good either in that way. But I still love them too. But the teams that are above them will probably kick our butt every day of the week and twice on Wednesday night. You know, so.
Like I said, soccer's just not been. I watch. That's about all I watch is sports. But soccer's just not been a sport that I've really gotten into.
Same here. It has to be. It has to be a few things for me to get interest in it. You know, winning a championship in some ways is definitely one of those. So,
I've always watched a lot of NFL, college football, baseball. I've watched more, but I'll be honest, I've watched more baseball this year than I have over the last couple of years. Just because, like this year, I've watched more games besides the Reds. Usually, I watch the Reds game, and if they wasn't playing, a lot of times I wouldn't watch it. But with these new rules and with more action in the games, and the games flow quicker on TV, a little bit quicker on TV because you don't have all that downtime.
Yeah,
I've been watching more of these other games. I like that they took the shift away. It's making for a lot more action. Not everything's a home run and a strikeout. You're seeing more base hits now. You're seeing steals come back into the game. It's been a fun transition into this kind of like new era.
Oh yeah, I gotta ask you a question. It's been kind of on my mind the past couple of days because I've joked with you guys about it as well as with Mike. Can the 06 Colts beat the 85 Bears? I think if Peyton really got on it, I think it's possible.
I got to say yes because I can't go against my Colts.
You got one of the greatest defenses of all time in the 85 Bears, though. So if you can get Mike Singletary in a blender in that way, you might be able to do some things.
And the Colts would have the advantage on the offensive side of the ball, but the Bears would have the advantage on the defensive side of the ball. So it'd be an interesting matchup.
Yes, it would. And yeah, remember who the 06 Colts beat to win the Super Bowl that year. So.
Oh yeah, nobody had the Colts go to the Super Bowl that year. The way that season went, we gave up 300-something yards rushing to Jacksonville. Late into the season that year.
Yeah,
and then we go on a run in the playoffs where teams can't run the ball against us at all. got
held Larry Johnson to 19 yards.
Yep.
I mean, a lot of those prognosticators and those NFL experts actually had, if I remember correctly, they had us losing to the Chiefs at home. They thought,
yeah, because our run defense was terrible. Nobody thought we had a chance to go anywhere.
No, they just going. Kansas City was going to let Larry Johnson win wild on us. And Bob Sanders came along,
Bob Sanders came back. The whole defense changed, and out of all the teams we had in that 5-6 year span, for that to be the team that won the Super Bowl was crazy. Because
should have been the team the year before, but we, Roethlisberger caught. Was it Nick Harper that was running it back, if I remember correctly? And Roethlisberger tackled him right at the last second. I think it was Nick Harper. I could be wrong.
I think it was Harper, and he got stabbed not too.
Yeah,
a week
or two. I saw a post about somebody that was talking about that within last year. It says they blamed his girlfriend for that loss or something like that. This happened. And you know how crazy our fans can be in that way, so it wouldn't surprise me that somebody actually did say that.
Oh, no, it wouldn't surprise me. Well, Mel, was there anything that we haven't got to that you wanted to get to tonight?
I believe I took care of it, actually, so we are good.
Yeah, I want to thank everybody for watching. Please hit that subscribe button on YouTube at Gonzo'S Sports Room. Like and follow Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, Instagram at Gonzo'S Sports Room. Please like, share, and comment on the video. That helps more people see it. We greatly appreciate it. Also, check out the ASAP All Sports All Plays Network on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, all social media. You can also find the ASAP Sports app on Apple products and at the Google Play Store. Go get on there and you can watch all your ASAP shows on demand. So go check that out as well. But this has been G.S.R. Gonzo'S Sports Room. We appreciate everybody joining us tonight. We will see you guys Friday night, 11 p.m. Eastern, with another episode of G.S.R. Gonzo'S Sports Room. Hope everybody has a great night. See you later.